When I was 10 years old, sometime in between putting viruses on my family's computer and dodging predators in chat rooms, I came across this video. And it absolutely terrified me. I really can't explain why, because my parents didn't really understand the internet, so I just had unfettered access. Like, my dad would watch the news and then be like, hey, dude, stay off this website. And then I would immediately go get on that website. So I had seen the worst that the mid 2000s internet had to offer. But something about these sentient pairs of pants brought 10-year-old Aufman to his knees. Sometimes you just don't know until you say it out loud. I couldn't sleep. When I did sleep, I had nightmares. I was scared to look out my window at night because I was sure that I was going to see those weird little things running in my yard. And that video has stuck with me for 17 years. Come to think of it, there was also an episode of Jimmy Neutron where everybody's pants come to life and attack them. And that deeply unsettled me as a kid. So somewhere I've got some kind of trauma related to pants. That can't be good. Hi, I'm Aufman. I like to make videos about weird stories or ghosts or haunted things, mostly because my wife got tired of me bothering her about it 24/7, so now I just talk to strangers on the internet. I wasn't the only one obsessed with this video when it came out, not even close. Like, you couldn't watch a top 10 scariest video without somebody being like, this video captures demons traveling through someone's yard. Nobody can explain what it is, but everyone who watches the video eventually dies. That might be a little dramatic. Or I might be conflating that with other videos, I don't know. Now, while these weird little freaks have gone by many different names, eventually they would be called the Fresno Nightcrawlers, mostly because the original video took place in Fresno, California. Now, that video was recorded in November of 2007 by a man named Jose. Jose claims that in the middle of the night, his dogs woke him up barking at something outside. And Jose went to check it out, which subsequently is why I will never see anything cool. Because my dogs bark at everything, and I'm not getting up at 2 in the morning just to see that they're barking at my neighbor's trash can again. Jose didn't see anything outside, and so he checks his security cameras, and that's when he sees the now infamous footage of these weird little white things with legs, a head, and no torso. Fun fact, when I first saw this video as a kid, I showed another kid at my school, and he said, hey, they look just like you. No, they don't. That's not true. Don't say that. When Jose saw the footage of the Nightcrawlers in his yard, let's just say he didn't handle it well. Apparently, his friends and family were really worried about him because he was scared to leave his house for days and wouldn't look out the window because he was so scared those things would be out there. And that kind of upsets me because I don't leave the house for days. I don't look out my window and nobody's worried about me. Eventually, one of Jose's friends convinced him to take the footage to a local news station. When the news station saw it, they reached out to a paranormal investigator by the name of Victor Camacho. Now, when Victor Camacho first saw the video, he kind of thought it was bullshit. Mostly because of the way that the news station was acting. Like, they didn't really give him a lot of time to analyze it, and when he tried to take it with him, they wouldn't let him. And from his account, it kind of sounds like they just needed someone to say it was paranormal so that they could run the story. Like, he was trying to do this investigation, and they're like, dude, just say it's aliens, all right? Just say it's aliens so we can say it's aliens. So because of that whole interaction, Camacho really didn't think it was worth his time, and he didn't even think about it for weeks until Jose reached out to him directly, and he realized that Jose had been waiting by the phone, desperately wanting to hear what Camacho had to say about the video. Camacho felt really bad that he had kind of just left this guy hanging, and so he went to Jose's house and looked at where the video was filmed. Jose even gave him a copy of the video that he could take with him and analyze. Now, unfortunately, after watching the video several times, looking at the space, all Camacho could really say is, I believe you. He couldn't explain what the video was or what was going on or what these creatures were. In 2008, Camacho ended up taking the video to a mutual UFO network conference where he showed hundreds of experts and tried to get their opinion on it. They couldn't give an answer either. Everybody seemed to have the same conclusion. yes, we believe this is real. This Jose guy seems genuinely concerned, but there's not enough information for us to even really say what's going on here. Side note, there's a few moments where like a little CGI alien will show up on the screen during Camacho's presentation, and he has to stop to explain that that alien has nothing to do with what he's talking about.
And when he wake up, this is not the video.
It was around this time that the video was posted onto a now defunct website known as youtube.com, where it exploded almost immediately in popularity. Tons of people on the internet were trying to explain what this video was, and a lot of people had some pretty good explanations. A lot of people said that it was probably just puppeteering. Some people were able to recreate the video with a combination of special effects and puppets. Some people were able to recreate it with pajama pants and fishing line, and I choose to ignore that because the idea that 10-year-old me was absolutely terrified by pajama pants hurts my feelings. As for what I think it is, I have no clue. I feel like a better creator would recreate the video themselves and be like, look, here's how I did it. That explains it. But I'm lazy and I'm holding this thing together with like Google Docs and Scotch tape. So I don't know what to tell you. It seems like for the most part, experts kind of agree that this is some kind of hoax, but not Camacho. Camacho has been fighting for his life for years to convince people that this is real. As of 2018, he said that based solely on Jose's reaction, he thinks this has to be authentic. He thinks that it is either some kind of extraterrestrial bug creature or elves. And that feels like a really big disparity. He also said that in the video, they look like mantis-like creatures. And all respect to Camacho, where? My brother in Christ, what are you talking about? Even people who believe that the video was some kind of hoax aren't really sure about Jose. It's entirely possible that Jose made this video himself and tried to capitalize on it and just wasn't able to close. But like many people have said, he did seem pretty freaked out by it, and it doesn't really seem like he ever tried to gain anything from it. In fact, he only showed his face one time, and that was when Camacho was doing his investigation. I think, and I kind of hope, that somebody was trying to mess with Jose and then saw how freaked out he got and just didn't say anything. And I get it. I've done that. I've messed with people and then their reaction is way more intense than I ever expected. And I'm just like, okay, well, I can't tell them now. Other than that video, sightings of the Fresno Nightcrawlers are really rare. There have been notable sightings in Poland and Yellowstone National Park. There have been a few other videos, but most of those have been debunked by now. So really, if these things are real, we know next to nothing about them, which is really interesting because there's not even a lot of lore. Like, nobody knows why they're here, why they're walking across people's yards like that, what they want. But despite a low amount of sightings and not a lot of information, the Fresno Nightcrawlers are still pretty huge, and that makes me really happy. There are a ton of memes, YouTube videos, pop culture references. There's some really sick stuff on Etsy and some really cool art, all based around the Nightcrawlers. It makes a lot of sense because it was one of the first cryptids to kind of blow up in the internet age, and that made it really easy to spread, really easy to share, and I think the mystery behind it got a lot of people excited and made it really popular. It even got so popular that it made the jump from internet culture to traditional media. History Channel's Fact or Fake did an episode about it where the host said they could not credibly recreate the video, which is interesting. They're also the ones credited with giving them the name Fresno Nightcrawlers, which really upset this guy named Michael Banty, who's like a local historian, because he was like, they're not crawling, they're walking. It's not really relevant, but do with that what you will. Now, as for me, I love the Fresno Nightcrawlers. The 10-year-old who was terrified of them has transformed into a 27-year-old who is obsessed with them. They're so cool. I love the mystery behind them. I love the way they walk. I love that they're just like weird little guys. Like, they don't even seem like they're doing anything bad. They're just hanging out. I want 17 of them in my yard right now, mostly because I think it would scare my dogs, and that's really funny to me. I will say, after saying that out loud, with today's political climate, I could see why having a bunch of these in my yard might not be a great look. So, What do you guys think about the Fresno Nightcrawlers? Do you like them? Do you hate them? Do you think they're real? What do you think they're here for? I noticed they don't have genitals. How do they procreate? Let me know in the comments. And like, subscribe, all that jazz. Thank you for watching.